Next, in this series of episodes, we're going to be talking about shelter and how it pertains to moto camping. Man, I prefer a tent. I know some guys do like the little tarp and stuff, and that's doable, but
Dude, that's like the debate, right?
You know?
So there's the tent setup, and then there's the guys who swear by hammocks.
yeah,
And personally, I think the tent is the way to go because look where we're at today.
yeah.
You're not gonna string two hammocks
Where are you going to do that?
between two motorcycles.
two cactuses? Like, no, you're not going to do that.
That's always my, and I wouldn't say argument because I do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But it's kind of my yin and yang on that because the hammocks, I've never had good success with them as far as just being comfortable, and then it could just be because I'm not setting them up right. I've tried them a few times, but the tent's just way more versatile.
100%.
Yeah.
Dude, so wifey and I did a backpacking trip. Well, we've done like 3 to Havasupai. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
It's like a crazy location here in Arizona. And what's notoriously known in Havasupai is they have a big raccoon issue. And I don't know if it's a problem, but it's actually really funny. So we tried hammocks one year, and those little things were all over us. They were like climbing up the poles and
Like wanting to get into your...
Yeah, dude, like I swear to you, me and Ginny would wake up because we were kind of stacked next to each other.
just want to snuggle.
100%. There's like these little hands on the end of the stupid hammock when I woke up and put my headlamp on. We're like dragging our stuff out of the way. So after that, we're like, we'll just do tents because we can put stuff in the tent. They have these like buckets where you're supposed to put stuff in, but there's so many people there, there's not enough. So
Yeah.
I prefer the tent. I've never had any run-ins with predators,
No,
but there's that video we were watching.
recently with the bear.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I think, hammock, tent, whatever structure you're in, that can happen, right? You have to be kind of cognizant of that, which we'll do security later in another episode.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's the other, yeah. What about like the sand? Remember we were worried about the sand blowing and as we're setting up,
It's definitely a downside
Yeah.
to a tent is that, you're on the ground, and when the sand kicks up, especially if it's really windy, you can get some sand in your tent. So my tent has a little bit of help from that. One, it's got a lining around the top towards it's not a mesh, so where the wind doesn't really blow the sand in as much. But you do have to be really kind of aware of what you're dragging into your tent. 'Cause it's really easy to drag in several cupfuls.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just coming off your clothing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like what is it called? Double wall tents. So you get that kind of like insulation air layer when it rains or it's humid or whatever. That really helps out. Kind of shed that.
A quality tent. I mean, you can get tents from Walmart and stuff like that, but man, really invest in a quality tent because the weatherproofing is going to be the best thing about it, right?
100% shelter. Yeah.
I use a big Agnes, and it's called a bike packing tent. It's actually designed for like cross country bicycling. The poles are 12 inches. The whole thing packs down to about this big around, just under 3 pounds, about 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
And you
get good space.
You get a nice footprint on it. So you get your ground fly, you get a rain fly, and then mine's a 2-person tent. But let's be real honest, those are not for 2 people. They're for 1 person. And I'm not huge by any means. I'm 5'8", about 180 pounds, and I could not fit another person in.
Yeah, same. And that's kind of what I did too. Is I looked at backpacking, so I have the Dragonfly 1-person tent from Nemo. And, this trip was my first time. Usually I run a 2-person tent from Nemo, but this trip was the first time running this one. And it was plenty of room for me.
Yeah, that's a great size.
Yeah,
the great thing about the small ultralight backpacking tents, again, going back to the ultralight backpacking, is that they're going to be really lightweight. They pack down small. And for me, the biggest thing is trying to find one that the poles break down, because when it comes down to it, your length on your space is going to be kind of your limiting factor. And the bike packing tents are great because those 12-inch poles, and you can store those anywhere.
Right.
Most pannier systems too, especially if you're talking like the hard panniers or even the soft panniers that use pannier racks, not like what you're using today, but those are usually 16 inches at the bottom. So as long as you get poles that are under that 16-inch mark, that's going to be the way to go.
Yeah. So we usually use an acronym to talk about shelter and sleeping and stuff like that. And you need something in to sleep, something on, and under, right?
Yep.
So what would you say would be the next step in setting up your shelter? Would that sleeping bag or sleeping pad,
Yeah.
or like what do you want to talk about next?
So over the years, I've gone from the cheapest stuff and maybe the smallest packing to not caring as much about that now, to where I want to be comfortable. 'Cause
Yeah, man.
At the end of the day, especially on multi-day trips, if you're not comfortable or you're not getting good sleep, you're gonna end up. It's gonna lead to injury.
100%, man.
Your mind's not gonna be rested,
Right.
and your body's not gonna be rested, and they're gonna get kind of cranky.
Well, yeah, I don't want to suck fest. I mean, I'm out here to enjoy this.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I look at the most. One, I want to be warm, because even though yesterday it was almost 70 degrees in the daytime, it got down to about 35 degrees last night. So
That's a huge swing.
it's such a huge swing. So I want to be warm. I have a Big Agnes Q Core.
Mm-hmm.
So my tent is Big Agnes. My mattress is Big Agnes. They're a great company, and this is not a plug for that brand by any means. It's just what I've come to so far to realize that that's what works for me.
Yeah.
That thing is 4 inches thick, and it's also 4 seasons. So it's an insulated air mattress, and really, really comfortable. Blows up pretty fast.
Yeah.
And even comes with a sack to blow it up if you want. We're even more luxury, and we use little packing or little portable air pumps.
Yeah.
But it also packs down to about this tall and about that big around, and extremely lightweight. So you can store it just about anywhere.
No, 1%. So mine's similar. I like the sleeping pads. We air them up. We have a little USB powered
USB-powered air pumps.
Air pump, and it also has an LED on it. So sleeping pad's super important. I know that for us, running 4 seasons is imperative, because sometimes the ground can be frozen, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about where you live, it being frozen like 3 feet into the ground. What was that?
Oh yeah, in the wintertime, and when it's really, really cold, our frost level is really deep, so it goes anywhere between 3.5 and 4 feet. So
you need that
the
insulation.
ground is actually frozen.
Yeah.
You can't even hardly dig into it.
You don't want to sleep on that.
No, you don't sleep on that.
So
having a barrier between you and the ground is definitely, and that's when the insulated mattresses become very important, because you can get a regular air mattress that's just going to have air in between. The insulated ones use all kinds of different technology to keep the air, or to keep the heat in on you.
In terms of sleeping bags, I'm running a 25 degree. I think it's a Tempo or Tempest from Nemo. Mine's all the same, all one system too. And I've ran that thing everywhere, man. We're on the rim of the Grand Canyon, everywhere, and 25 degrees has been nice for here. Obviously, I need a 0 degree back to go colder. But have you been out on your motorcycle when that's that cold?
That's the thing. Overlanding with Jeeps and whatnot, you can justify getting a 0 degree bag, but I don't ride in the snow.
Yeah.
It's not really justified, because it becomes a safety issue at that point.
Right. And they also get, pretty lofty, right? They get big. So when you're packing them down, that's why I run a 25 degree. And maybe you consider that when you're packing, is I can cram it into, my stuff sack or whatever's in there for the size.
Yeah. And it's also going to be season dependent too.
Yeah.
So what's great about you and I both, our bags, they stuff down small, but they also, they go down to a low degree, right? Well, if you're going to be doing just summertime, then you can get away with, a quilt.
Right. Yeah.
So
100%.
That'll actually bring me to my sleep system. It's called Zenbivy. It's a kind of a combo between a sleeping bag and a quilt. So it attaches to the mattress. You can use it as a standard quilt, or
that's awesome.
Or it zips into itself and zips to the sheet that it comes with for the mattress, and it's ultra comfortable. And I'm a side sleeper.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
I'm a side sleeper, and mummy bags just don't do it for me. I get all wrapped up. And want to freak out in that thing. So the Zenbivy, it's nice and wide. And then last night again, it got down to 35 degrees, and there was one point I had to kind of unzip a little bit because I was starting to kind of sweat. So.
Yeah. No, that's the point that I wanted to talk about too. Is understand how you sleep. I'm a face sleeper, man. Yeah. I'm literally like straight up and down in my little tomb, just face down, like planking, and that's how I'm comfortable. So, the tombs do work, and that's a style of sleeping bag where you zip up and it's literally like just around your face or whatever. And I'm good to go on that. Do you move around a lot?
I guess it just kind of depends. I have had a lot of injuries over the time, so sometimes I don't sleep I slept great last night.
So did I, yeah.
But there's times where I do toss and turn a little bit.
Gotcha. Is that why you like to do the one that's attached to the sleeping pad?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, I can get kind of wound up in a mummy bag and just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I hear you. So yeah. So in, on, under, shelter. I mean, I prefer tent.
Another luxury too is a pillow.
Oh yeah, you have one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get pillows that pack down to like the size of your fist.
That's crazy.
Or I'm a little bit more on the luxury side, just because I've done this for so long and I've learned that again being comfortable is the way to go. But I use what's called a king pillow or pillow. It's a combination of memory foam and air, so it packs down about this thin. It is kind of large, but the nice thing about it is you can stuff it just about anywhere. And 2 breaths blowing it up, and you've got this like perfect size.
That's awesome.
Almost like home pillow.
Yeah. And I would say too, consider the amount of time you plan on being out on your bike.
Yeah.
If it's one night, I guess you could just muscle through it. But if you're doing consecutive nights, man, over a course of a week,
and those
things matter.
That's most of the time I'm doing a minimum of 3 days. Mm-hmm. So you want to be able on a motorcycle is different than being in a car because it takes a lot more like cognitive response.
You got to be intent.
Yeah.
Intentful.
So being able to be well rested is more important for me.
That's shelter.
That's pretty much shelter.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.